All right, welcome back to the cryptocurrency recap. We are joined once again by Dave Zeiler, Monday Morning's cryptocurrency expert. So, Dave, you've got kind of two stories for us today, a quick one and a bit of a longer one. Let's start with the quick one. Van Eck and SolidX just kind of gave up on their cryptocurrency ETF. What happened with that, and what have they moved on to?
Well, they had first proposed, SolidX did, an ETF back in March of 2016. So we're in 2019, and they also, in 2018, then teamed up with Van Eck and the Chicago Board Options Exchange, the CBOE. And so they've been, proposing these things and getting rejected by the SEC. And then delays and rejections. They finally got tired of it. They threw in the towel. And so now they've basically converted it to something else. It's going to be a Bitcoin trust, and it's going to operate where only accredited investors can get into it. So an accredited investor, it means you got to have an income of at least $200,000 a year or a net worth of $1 million. And that leaves out a lot of people, including me, including you. So with this, it's not even new. We've already had something like this. We had the Grayscale Investment Trust, has been around for several years, basically did the same thing when everybody else was creating their Bitcoin ETF proposals. The Grayscale guy said, you know what, we're just going to skip all that. We don't have to get SEC approval to do this. We're just going to do this and offer it to accredited investors. Yeah.
So quickly, would you say that that's them switching to a trust, is that still good for the cryptocurrency kind of world? And or is it just kind of like all right, we didn't get the win we wanted, so we're just going to get a passable B minus?
Well, yeah, it's fine for them if they don't want to see it through and wait, because it may be quite a while longer. But eventually we will get a Bitcoin ETF. The SEC will approve one. I'm sure the Winklevoss twins, which had proposed the very first one way back when, they're going to stick with it, and eventually it'll happen, and that'll be hugely beneficial to the Bitcoin price. It'll launch a rally and all that stuff. Yeah. It's just going to be a while before it happens.
Okay. So the other story we were talking about a little bit before this, you mentioned that Bitcoin dominance and kind of how much the percentage it has of the market share is at a really big high. Can you unpack that a little bit? What's going on there?
Yeah, well, the Bitcoin dominance is, you look at all the cryptocurrencies, their market caps, and this is, you add all this together, it's it's the total value of all the cryptocurrencies. And within all that, if you look at it as a big pie of the entire value of the entire cryptocurrency world, Bitcoin now is at 71% of that. And that's out of a group of, literally over 2,000 cryptocurrencies. So they have a hugely dominant position. And although it started out that way when Bitcoin was almost the only one, when all these new cryptocurrencies burst onto the scene in 2017, Bitcoin's dominance fell a lot. In fact, by early 2018, it was down to about 33%. But since then, it's been climbing. And especially in the past few months, it's gone, from in the low 60s up to over 70%. And the reason why this is happening is for a couple reasons. One is that a lot of those projects that did come out in 2017, all those ICOs, all these new cryptocurrencies were coming out. People all jumped into them. They thought they were going to get rich. It turned out a lot of these were not what they were cracked up to be. A lot of them were scams and frauds. The SEC is cracking down on them, as we've discussed in previous videos. And so now their values are declining. And even amongst the top cryptocurrencies, they just haven't had the staying power that Bitcoin has. Meanwhile, Bitcoin has been going up. Today it's almost up to $11,000 as we speak. And earlier in the year, it was around 4,000. So it's gone up quite a bit just this year. The other cryptos have not followed it, even though they've come back a little bit. In the past 3 months in particular, most of even the top cryptos in the top 20, most of them are down over the past 3 months.
Okay, so as we're seeing the previously mentioned kind of regulators are starting to weed some of these coins out, other ones are weakening. Over time, long term, how many cryptocurrencies do you think we'll end up settling on? About how many? Are there going to be 50 big ones, 100, 200, 2? What are your thoughts on that?
Well, I think you're going to see a lot of them are going to disappear, and most people agree that's what's going to happen. Most people in the crypto world, that you're not going to have 2,000 cryptocurrencies like 10 years from now. You will probably have, I think, probably less than 100. Exactly what you're going to have, it's hard to say, but it's going to depend on, the cryptocurrencies that survive are going to be the ones that serve a purpose. They're going to have some utility. There's going to be a reason for them to exist. And they're going to have, a team of developers working on them. They're going to have to be alive. A lot of the ones already that are only like a year old have been abandoned by the people who started them. And you're going to see that is going to accelerate over the next couple of years. We only need a few. And I kind of look at it as Bitcoin is the gold. It's the digital gold. It's being used as a store of value. A lot of these other cryptocurrencies, the altcoins, the ones that survive, you're going to see them more like other metals that have utility, that aren't used as a store of value, stuff like aluminum and copper and nickel. They'll still have value, but they're not going to, have skyrocket in value and be used for, speculative purposes the way Bitcoin has.
Yeah. All right. Well, thanks very much for, of course, the insights and kind of your analysis of what's going on. We'll see you next week.